My, oh my, what a story we have today. Picture this. A vast, shimmering expanse of water, the magnificent Lake Victoria, the largest lake in Africa. Now, imagine a tiny speck of rock jutting out of these waters, a place so small it's barely a blip on any map. This, ladies and gentlemen, is Migingo Island. It's not a tropical paradise with sandy beaches and swaying palm trees. No. Migingo is a rugged, rocky outcrop, covering less than half the size of a standard soccer pitch. Yet this tiny piece of land has become world famous, not for its beauty, but for its unbelievable population density. It is, quite simply, one of the most crowded places on the entire planet. What a spectacle! The island itself is a fascinating geographical anomaly, nestled close to the maritime borders of Kenya, Uganda, and Tanzania. It is one of 3 small islands in a cluster. Nearby is the larger yet completely uninhabited Migingo Island. Isn't that something? A stone's throw away lies a bigger, empty island, yet hundreds of people choose to cram themselves onto this small rock. This choice is not random. It is driven by one powerful force: economics. The story of Migingo is a story of survival, of opportunity, and of the incredible lengths people will go to secure a livelihood for their families. It's a place where every square inch is precious, a testament to human resilience and ingenuity. The population of Migingo is a vibrant, multicultural mix of people from the East African community. The majority of the residents are Kenyan, but a significant number of Ugandans and a handful of Tanzanians also call this rock home. They are all drawn here by a singular purpose, a shared ambition that transcends national identity. They are fishermen, fishmongers, boat mechanics, shopkeepers, and entrepreneurs. They have created a bustling, self-contained microeconomy that thrives in the middle of Lake Victoria. Swahili is the language that binds them, the common tongue used to haggle over prices, share stories in the small eateries, and build a community in one of the world's most unlikely settlements. So why this specific rock? Why has this small, unassuming island become a focal point of international attention and a source of diplomatic tension? The answer lies not on the island itself, but in the deep waters that surround it. These waters are home to a treasure more valuable than gold to the local communities: the Nile perch. The island's strategic location provides direct access to some of the richest fishing grounds for this highly sought-after fish. This proximity is the lifeblood of Migingo, the reason for its existence, and the very source of its fame and its troubles. It's a classic tale of supply and demand, played out on a tiny stage with enormous consequences. What a story! Let's talk about the fish, shall we? The Nile perch is not just any fish. It is the engine of Migingo's economy. This massive freshwater predator, introduced into Lake Victoria decades ago, has become a multi-million-dollar industry. Its firm white flesh is a delicacy in high demand in markets across Europe, Asia, and beyond. We're talking about a fish that can fetch hundreds of dollars per kilogram on the international market. This is what makes the waters around Migingo a veritable gold mine. Fishermen set out in their small wooden boats every night, braving the unpredictable lake, all in pursuit of this lucrative catch. It's a high-risk, high-reward venture that promises a path out of poverty for many. This gold rush has transformed the island from an uninhabited rock into a buzzing economic hub. The entire ecosystem of the island revolves around the fishing industry. When the boats return in the morning, their hulls laden with the silver giants, the island bursts into a flurry of activity. Fish vendors, mostly women, rush to the shore to buy the catch directly from the fishermen. The fish are then weighed, gutted, and packed in ice, ready to be transported by larger boats to the mainland, where they enter the global supply chain. This process creates jobs for hundreds of people, from the boat owners and crew to the vendors and the men who ferry the precious cargo. It's a well-oiled machine powered by ambition and Nile perch. But where there is great wealth, there are often great problems. The immense value of the Nile perch has created fierce competition and, sadly, conflict. The island sits in a gray area of territorial sovereignty, a point of contention between Kenya and Uganda for years. Both nations lay claim to the island and its resource-rich waters, leading to what some have called Africa's smallest war. This dispute isn't about land. It's about control over the fishing grounds. At times, tensions have escalated. with both Kenyan and Ugandan authorities deploying marine police to the island, leading to a complicated and often tense coexistence for the residents who just want to make a living. On top of the international dispute, the fishermen face another constant threat: piracy. The waters of Lake Victoria can be lawless, and the fishermen, often carrying cash from their sales, are easy targets for armed gangs. These pirates attack in the dead of night, stealing boat engines, fish, and money, and sometimes leaving their victims stranded on the vast lake. The lack of a formal, permanent security presence means the community has to rely on its own vigilance and systems of justice. This daily dance with danger is the price they pay for access to the lake's bounty. It's a tough life. A life on the edge, all for the prize Nile perch. Oh, the drama. Now let's paint a picture of daily life on Migingo. Imagine living in a space where your front door is just a step away from your neighbor's wall. The island is completely covered in small shacks made of corrugated iron and wood, built so close together that they seem to be leaning on each other for support. There are no roads, only narrow, winding pathways that snake between the structures. Privacy is a luxury that simply does not exist here. You can hear your neighbors' conversations, smell what they are cooking for dinner, and share in their joys and sorrows. It is communal living taken to the absolute extreme, a human beehive buzzing with constant activity from dawn until dusk. The living conditions are, to put it mildly, basic. There is no running water on the island. Fresh water for drinking, cooking, and washing has to be brought in by boat from the mainland, making it a precious commodity. Sanitation is a major challenge, with rudimentary facilities shared by the entire community. Despite these hardships, the residents have managed to create a functional society. The island boasts a small pharmacy, a barbershop, several small hotels or hostels for visitors and new arrivals, and of course, a number of bars and video halls where people gather to unwind after a hard day's work. It's a testament to the human spirit's ability to adapt and create a sense of normalcy in the most extraordinary of circumstances. The community on Migingo is its greatest strength. Living in such close quarters forces people to rely on one another. When a fisherman falls sick, neighbors chip in to help his family. When a dispute arises, community elders are often the first to intervene, seeking a peaceful resolution before it escalates. This tight-knit social fabric is essential for survival. Despite the mix of nationalities and the underlying political tensions, on a personal level, people have learned to coexist. They are united by their shared reality, their shared struggles, and their shared dependence on the lake. They are not just Kenyans or Ugandans, they are Migingoans. The rhythm of life is dictated by the lake. The days are for mending nets, maintaining boats, selling fish, and running the small businesses that cater to the population. The nights belong to the fishermen, who venture out onto the dark waters. For the children on the island, life is a mix of play in the cramped spaces and, for a lucky few, a boat ride to schools on the mainland. It is a life stripped down to its essentials: work, family, and community. It is a world away from the lives most of us know, yet it is filled with the same human dramas, dreams, and aspirations. What a place! So, why does the story of this tiny rock in Lake Victoria matter so much? Migingo is more than just a crowded island. It is a powerful symbol of modern-day Kenya and the broader East African region. It represents the immense economic potential that lies within our natural resources, like the rich fisheries of Lake Victoria. The Nile perch industry demonstrates how a local resource can connect a small, remote community to the global market, bringing wealth and opportunity to places that were once overlooked. For Kenya, the island is a strategic economic outpost, a vital contributor to the fishing sector, and a source of livelihood for thousands of its citizens, both on the island and on the mainland. Furthermore, Migingo's story is a compelling case study in cross-border relations and resource management. The ongoing ownership dispute with Uganda highlights the challenges that can arise when valuable resources straddle national borders. It serves as a constant reminder of the need for diplomacy, clear agreements, and collaborative management of shared assets like Lake Victoria. The recent clashes in March 2025 involving fishermen from Kenya, Uganda, and Tanzania underscore the urgency of finding a lasting solution. How the nations of the East African community handle the Migingo question will be a test of regional cooperation, and a blueprint for resolving similar disputes in the future. The human element of the story is what truly captivates people around the world. The sheer resilience and adaptability of the people living on Migingo are nothing short of remarkable. They have built a vibrant, functioning society against all odds, in an environment that most would consider uninhabitable. Their ability to live and work together, despite their different nationalities and the cramped conditions, offers a powerful lesson in community and cooperation. It challenges our notions of space, comfort, and necessity. The island has even become something of a tourist attraction, drawing curious visitors who want to witness this unique way of life firsthand. In conclusion, Migingo Island is a microcosm of some of the biggest challenges and opportunities facing our continent today. Resource competition, border disputes, rapid urbanization, and the incredible resilience of the human spirit. It is a story of survival, enterprise, conflict, and community, all packed onto a half-acre rock. It forces us to ask important questions about borders, ownership, and what it truly means to build a community. The story of Migingo is not just a Kenyan story or an African story, it is a human story. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is why this tiny, crowded island will continue to fascinate us all. What a story indeed. Smokin'.